Yeah, we're recording.
Okay, everyone's good?
hmm
Yep.
All right. Yo, guys, it's Chris, and we're back for episode 7 of the Untold Gems podcast. Thank you for watching and subscribing. We've got a few things to talk about today. But as usual, how
Hi,
are you
guys.
guys doing?
I'm good. And you?
Good, good, good.
I'm so
Yeah.
ready for this episode. I prepared like a whole list of what we're going to talk about.
Okay, take
Like
it away then.
so many things. Okay, so our idea for this episode was basically to give some examples of like side
Sorry, guys.
hustles.
Bless you.
Oh, it's all good.
Thank you.
Side
Bless you,
hustles
Pete.
or like businesses that you can start with for basically under $500. So that was kind of the concept we wanted to go with because last episode we spoke about like entrepreneurship versus 9 to 5. So we were like, why don't we talk about some ways that you can, or not necessarily entrepreneurship, but like side hustles and businesses too. And so like, what are some ways that you can start getting into that under like on a very small budget? So that's kind of what we wanted to talk about. So I think the best one to start with is I guess Amazon because that's the one that I would recommend. So yeah, I'll start with that. So um basically with Amazon there's different business models you can do if you're selling on Amazon. So if you become an Amazon seller, you can do a bunch of different things. However, reselling is one of the business models you can do, and it's the business model that requires the lowest amount of capital upfront. So if you want to start doing basically just start a business or a side hustle or anything, this is a really, really good way to get started, entry level. And it's like you don't need to have any requirements or any like specific skills. So it's very easy to get into as a beginner. And basically it does not require that much money upfront. So you can start with as little as even $100 if you wanted to. It's really like you can grow at your own pace. Obviously, this business, like you need money to make money in a reselling business in a way because you need to buy inventory and then sell it, but you can still start with very low capital. So I think that's kind of the best one in a way to start because it's like I said, it's low capital, um, easy to start, no requirements, etc. So yeah, that's number one. I think that's number one. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
Where could people find information if they're interested in starting an Amazon business? Because I'll tell you what, June 8th, a year ago, I started my Amazon business. It was not
Oh,
just anybody could do it. I think it was June 8th.
No
yo, me, it was
way.
June
No,
2nd. I
tomorrow,
completely forgot.
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow will be a year officially that my first shipment
Let's
Wow, that's
go.
crazy.
went away.
Chris, yours was June 2nd?
Yeah, completely forgot that it was
Me too, I
my
Yeah,
business
forgot.
yeah.
Well, mine's June
anniversary.
4th. Well, June 14th is the day that I made my first sale. So technically that's like my
So you're
anniversary of
still
making
good,
my
yeah.
first sale. Yeah, but I think I sent my shipment like June 6th. So it would have been like yesterday, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty
So
cool. Um, but yeah, do you guys agree that it's like something that you can really start at your own pace? Like it does need money, like you need money to make money with this type of business, but you can start very slowly and build it up. And I actually recommend, like I tell people this all the time, not only like can you build it up slowly, but I also recommend to do that because when you're first starting out, you won't really know like what products to buy, you won't really know where to look. And so if you jump into this business and you have 10K to invest, it's maybe not the best thing. Like it's not best to invest 10K in your first month because you're going to end up buying shitty, like a bunch of shitty products. So I always recommend people like start with around $500. That's actually like the exact amount that I recommend to people. So that's why I thought it would be perfect as the number one. So start with about 500, and then as you get better and you learn more about like what products actually sell, et cetera, all of the rules of Amazon, because as we know, there's a whole bunch of rules that you need to learn. So yeah, once you learn everything and you feel more comfortable and confident choosing products, then you start funding as much money as you can. That's kind of the approach that I recommend to people. But when you first start, it's you should like you can do it, but you also should start very slow just before you until you're more comfortable actually choosing products. That's what I tell literally everybody. And yeah, I think 500 is a really good starting point. I think that pretty much like is one of the best things that you can start, but I think that's a good example of it. But do you guys have any other um things as well? I have a whole list, so I'm ready to talk about all of them, but do you guys want to elaborate on Amazon a bit
No,
maybe?
yeah, we could talk about Amazon a bit more. So how much did you guys start with?
So me it was
$500.
500.
Oh,
Yeah,
500.
literally.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
so it's
500.
true. You don't need more than $500 to start. Me, I started with $900. But if it's your first time getting into any business, then yeah, you'd want to start with as little money as possible. If you're familiar with having businesses and stuff, as long as you know what you're doing, then you can even start with 5K, 10K. It doesn't really matter as long as you know what you're doing. But it's always
Facts.
best if you can start small, which Amazon allows you to start small, then it's always better to start small.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it doesn't really take more than a couple $100. And to be honest, $500, it can sound like a lot to some people, but $500 realistically is very easy to save up and to achieve.
Yeah, and I want to speak
So
on it because like when Chris made me start Amazon and helped me out as well, I started with $500 and I was working part time at the time, working being a full time student, etc. And for me, it was probably I want to say the easiest way, but I made my return on investment like a month and a half later, not even maybe 3 weeks later. So it's
uh,
like Sasha and Chris said, it's a very at your own pace business, which is the beauty of Amazon because you don't get overwhelmed. And sometimes I had projects where the time requirement was too much for me to grow the business. But
mm,
with Amazon, if you select your products properly, you can reinvest your profits until you're able to reach a higher amount. So anybody who has time on their hand or doesn't have much time, you could find a way to balance it out. And I think the mindset switches when you have an Amazon business because once you're able to see you're able to make money while you sleep, then you're most likely to reinvest more money and take a portion from your 9 to 5 and fund your Amazon business. So I think it's like Sasha said, I can see why it's the number one and it could very be for anybody else because Amazon's not going away anytime soon also.
yeah, and it's number one for us because we've all had success with it. I'm
Yeah,
sure other
that's why.
people
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
have
back,
other
back.
number ones. Any form of reselling, to be honest, whether it's shoe flipping, books, like if you sell used books, even if it's on eBay, any other website, any form of reselling would be your best place to start if you want to dip into sort of making money on your own. I think that's the easiest thing to do and the most practical, most realistic way to get a few extra $100 a month
Yeah.
to start. And then you'll see what it takes to like start a business and run a business.
Yeah,
And
it will teach you really the skills that you need to like to know how a business actually operates. I think that's one of the best things I've learned from Amazon is just like learning how to be organized and like to actually learn those skills that you need to actually run a business.
yeah,
Um,
and you can truly, like you guys said, grow at your own pace. So if you like to take things slow, which is something I like to do, and because I'm patient, I'm looking at this long term. I don't want to rush into making any big decisions. You can literally take your time with it. You can, if you want to accelerate your growth, all you have to do is simply add capital. That's it. You have to add
facts.
capital, outsource some tasks, and that's all you have to do to accelerate the process. But if you have, let's say, a job or you're still a student, and this is something that you only have a couple of hours during the week to deal or to play with, then yeah, you can definitely start that way as well. Um, but you also can't put 4 hours per week on a business and expect huge results.
That's
So
true.
if you're putting in little hours and little investments, you're also going to get little results. So it all goes hand in hand.
Facts. But what I also like about Amazon is that it's very low risk. Like, well, I mean, in general, if you invest a small amount of money, that makes it low risk already. But also, like, there are ways to kind of like, if you were to potentially have a loss, like, there are so many ways to kind of like avoid that or like things that you can do to basically make up for those losses. So, like, for example, since we buy from retail stores, so if anyone doesn't really understand what we're talking about, basically reselling on Amazon means typically means you're buying from retail stores, or at least the business model we do is online arbitrage. You're buying from retail stores. So because we're buying from retail stores, if for example something doesn't end up selling, if you buy it from a store that has a good policy, for example Walmart has a 3-month policy. So if ever you have a product that you bought and you're like, oh my god, I made like a bad decision, I bought something that isn't going to end up selling, for example, you can always go back and return it to the store. Another little hack that you can do if ever you have like something like that, or and you can't return it for, like, let's just say the policy is up, you can also sell things on Facebook Market. And so that's how I've been able to avoid like a lot of the losses that I could have potentially had by just trying to get as much money as I possibly could by either returning it or selling it on Facebook Market. So there's so many ways that you can like avoid having those losses with this business, which is what attracted me to this business the most. Because when I first started, I was like, for me, 500 at the time, I felt like it was maybe not that much money, but I still felt like it was a lot of money to put into something. So I was kind of like I put the money in, but then I was kind of like a bit afraid. I was like, like you never really know what's going to happen. And so when I saw that it was very low risk and that there was like not so many commitments, like I was just putting 500, and worst case scenario, if it didn't work out, I would have only lost around 500. So to me, that was very attractive in terms of a business, because a lot of other businesses require you to put like so much more money up front. So I was like really like that's what really made me want to start and to feel more safe starting it. And also one more thing to say about that is because of how easy it is to make sales on Amazon, because like we're selling products that we don't need to market ourselves, like it's just products that pretty much already sell in the market. Like the first day my products became active, I made my first sale. And for that whole week, I had sales every single day for that first week that I launched my products. And that like just being able to make sales so easily with this business model is what makes it like I guess more motivating. Like
Yeah.
I think Charles said something like this, but basically like just the fact that you're able, like you can see that you're able to make money so quickly, and then that's what's going to keep motivating you. Whereas a lot of other businesses you won't see, I mean, you won't really see results as quickly in a way, because I mean, if you're selling something random, like if you're creating your own, I don't know, if you're selling eyelashes or something that you bought from China and you're reselling them, and like you don't have the audience for it, it's going to be a lot harder for you to go get those sales. So what I really liked about this model is that you're selling stuff that is already in demand. There's already like people buying these products, so you know that it's going to sell. And I think that's really motivating, because you never have to really worry like, is this actually going to sell? Because most of the time the products that we choose, we specifically chose them because we know that they're going to sell. So I really liked that about it as well. Yeah, that's my little rant about Amazon.
Yeah, we have to also.
No,
Oh, go ahead, Charl. Go ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say because like as a somebody who had like a Shopify business where you're marketing, you're doing IG, doing the posts is very time consuming, and one of the biggest expenses that people don't realize is marketing, Facebook ads,
Yeah,
whatever,
ads.
and looking
Mm-hmm.
just to get influencers, etc. So, I had a Shopify business. Thank God I sold it because I don't think I'll be in the same business as I was before because it's very time consuming as well. And especially when you're a new entrepreneur, everything's on your hand. You're handling the business, you're handling the emails, you're handling customer complaints, etc. What's the beauty about Amazon is that they take care of the marketing. They have people in place to do the return policies, which could be that's a whole
You don't have to
conversation
speak
as
to
well.
any
But
customers. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like Chris said, if you're able to outsource some of the tasks as well, it really becomes a business of okay, what do I like to do or what am I good at? And then let me delegate the rest and then look to see where I can spend my time elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it because it's really I spoke about it last episode. It's not a question of time versus money, it's really a question of delegating to maximize your time and maximize your money.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tweet this. I have it scheduled. Like our job in our 20s is not to avoid risk, it's simply to manage it. And with Amazon,
Mm,
it's, as Sasha was saying, it's so low risk. Like I just to run it back for people who have no idea what we're talking about again, what we do is called online arbitrage. We buy products, let's say at Walmart, and we send them to Amazon and sell them on Amazon. And what Sasha was saying is, like, I hope you guys realize what she was saying. She's saying that the worst thing that can happen when, let's say, you buy from Walmart, Canadian Tire, Toys R Us, all these big stores, the worst thing that can happen to you is that if your products don't end up selling at Amazon's warehouses, let's say you made a bad decision, you bought the wrong products, then you can simply ask Amazon to send those products back to you. And then you return them to the store because all these big stores have 60 days, 90 days return policies. So the worst thing that'll happen is that you can return everything that you bought and bring it
Facts.
back to the store. So I don't understand why not, like, why more people aren't trying this or aren't willing to try Amazon. I
Yeah.
think maybe they think, I don't know like, yeah, I don't know where the
yeah,
block
but
is.
can you guys just speak to what Amazon allows you guys to do in the last 2 years, please? Because I don't think people realize how big of an opportunity it is, even though let's say Amazon sales are declining, you still are able to have a certain level of freedom. So I just want you guys to speak about it, because I think, like we spoke last week, a lot of people don't see the possibilities if you don't show them. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, for me, it's allowed me to quit my job after 2 years. So the way Sasha is saying you can get sales quickly, that is completely true. Even I had my first deal on the first day that my things were active. So that's completely true. But we can't get that confused with you're not going to get rich quickly. There's a big difference. You can get
Facts.
sales quickly, and that's one thing, but this is not a get rich quick scheme in any way. So for me, this has been 2 years, and I'm still not even not even halfway of where I want to be. I think it takes, realistically, if you're starting from the ground up, I think that it takes at least 4 years for you to accomplish something that's
Me too.
valuable. I think it's
Yeah.
at least 4 years. So if you're thinking of anything below 4 years, I suggest you don't ever get involved in any business. When I say 4 years, I don't mean you're gonna only be profitable after 4 years. You can be profitable after a couple of months. You can be profitable after a year. We were all profitable after a couple of months. But to build something that's going to allow you to be fully self-sufficient, not have to rely on a job anymore, I think it does take a couple of years, not just months. So you should
Yeah.
really stop thinking about months or weeks when you're looking to start a business. It's
Yeah.
always going to be years that you have to think of it in. So even for us, for this, for example, for this podcast, we said that we're gonna try to do it for at least 1 year. So after 1 year, you can then analyze, okay, what did I actually accomplish?
Yeah.
Because if you quit 2 months in, 3 months in, 4 months in, 5 months in, you'll never really get to see the results of what it could actually give you, your
Yeah.
business. So yeah.
No, it's so true. Like you, like I said before, like you need money to make money with this business in a way. Like the sales are super quick, of course, but then you need to, like, if you're selling, for example, if you're selling like chocolate bars and you're selling five of them, that's only going to make you like what, $2 profit each or something. You know, it's not going to be like a lot of profit per unit that you sell. So it's not like once you make five sales, it's not like you're gonna be rich, you know, you're not gonna be able to support yourself, but it's once you're selling like thousands of units per month, that's when things are
hmm
going to start picking up. um and yeah, like Chris said, like it does take time, and like for me too it was like a year and maybe 8 months or maybe a bit less when I quit my job. And though I think one of the biggest mistakes people can make is I actually spoke to somebody who said that and I think Chris too had somebody say this to him too,
Mm-hmm.
where they said like, oh, I ended up quitting my job because they, you know, like they start making money and they're like, oh shit, I can actually make money with this. They quit, but then they realize like, oh, I need more capital to buy
Yeah, they
to keep
quit too
growing.
early. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Too
think the
early, yeah.
the biggest mistake you can make is quitting too early. I always tell people expect to do this. Like if you want to do Amazon, expect to keep your job for at least like a year and a half to maybe 2 3 years. It could be, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it could be more depending on how much money they can actually invest into their business, because everybody's journey will look different, because basically depending on how much money you start with and how much money you invest throughout the year. Because some people will start with less money than me and Chris, or you know, some people will start with more money than us. I had somebody that I worked with who I helped learn how to sell on Amazon, and he's a surgeon, so he obviously has like an amazing salary here, and he was able to like grow his business so much faster than I had when I started. And it's not because he's better than me, it's because he has a lot more capital than me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it works. But yeah, like Chris said, it's just really like it's not like a side hustle that you're going to do for just like 1 year. You know, it's really something that you're going to grow and build over time, and it's a real business. You know, it's not like a joke, it's like a real business that
Yeah.
requires real
Yeah.
work. It's You're actually like incorporating a business with the government, like it's a real thing, and you need to adopt those like skills and things that you need to do when you own a business. And even though in the first maybe year or two it's not going to be, you know, you're not going to be rich, you could be rich in a couple of years. And like I follow so many sellers who are way ahead of me and Chris, they've been selling for a couple more years than us.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing their growth and like what they've managed to accomplish, it's so motivating. Because there's one guy that we both had watched when we first started. I forget his name on YouTube, but I think he's been selling on Amazon for 9 years now, and he's selling like a couple million per year, and that's the profit. I think it's like 18% of that. So if you calculate that, that's easily over a doctor's salary, you know. And just to think like, oh my God, 9 years, like I don't want to do this for 9 years, you know. But it's like we're willing to go to school for 5 years, not even be guaranteed a job, and pay a bunch of money, you know. Like we're willing to do so many things that are more normalized in our society, but we're not willing to do things like this. And I can understand it because it can seem risky, but that's what I really like about this business, is that it's very low risk and it's so easy to start slowly. And once you see that it's working, it's just a matter of growing it to like scaling it up to the point where you're actually selling millions per year. And that's really when you're going to have made it. Like that's when you made it, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I want to say really about Amazon. It's been a great experience for me. Like I wouldn't be in the position that I am today if I wouldn't have started Amazon. And I remember being so hesitant too when Chris had told me about it. He was like, "Oh, let's do this." It looks like he was telling me about it. And I remember being super hesitant, but then like I was like, because it's low risk, blah blah blah. I've already explained it. That then I started doing it. But I'm so grateful that I took that risk, I guess, because like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't start doing that. And yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just want to say one last thing. I'll go, Chris.
no, just to give people another option as well. If it happens that you start Amazon and you find that you really, really love it and it's something you're actually really passionate about, you like flipping and like it comes natural to you, and you really hate your job, then what you can do as well, and what's the contrary of like risk averse, like people who want to take risks? Like is there a word for that? I'm sure there
Risk
is.
takers, I
Oh yeah,
guess.
if you yeah, I guess if you're more of a
Yeah,
risk
if you're a
taker,
risk taker, yeah.
then what you can do is once you know that it's something that you're good at and that you also know how to outsource tasks and delegate tasks, then there is also an option of taking lines of credits to grow your capital and invest more into your Amazon business. So you don't necessarily have to stay in your job for a year or
We gotta
two.
get the disclosure.
I see Charl
Yeah,
laughing.
but this is
We are
literally
not professionals.
no, we're not professionals, and you have to listen to what I'm saying. This is for people who are good with business, who find it natural, who love
Yeah.
it, and who are also willing to take risks,
And who are
and who
confident in choosing
completely,
products, and they know how to actually,
yeah,
you
and you
know.
also hate your job. Like you cannot stay there for a year or two. No, I'm serious, because some people like can't do it. You can take a line of credit. You just have to do your calculations to see what the interest rate is and blah blah blah. But yeah, that is an option that is open for you as well. We personally have not done that yet, any of us, but I'm really considering it now that I don't
Me
have a
too.
job anymore. Like
Me
because I
too.
know what I'm doing and I know that everything I buy, mostly like let's say 95% of what I buy comes back in profit, then I'm more willing to take a loan and to just pay the interest, which is also tax deductible when you have a business.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So exactly. Yeah, me too. I'm like so considering it because I've always like I didn't start with that much money when I started. And like, you know, I basically basically there's always like a debate from Amazon sellers. They always say like, what's your issue? Is it that you don't have enough products or you don't have enough capital? And for me, it's always the capital issue that I'm
yeah,
like,
you'll run.
I have
Yeah,
so many products that I can buy, but I just don't have enough capital. So I'm always in that boat, and I'm always just like, I need to take a loan. But I'm like also a bit afraid because like,
we've
you
never
know,
done
it's
it before.
yeah, it's a big thing to do. So it's like it's kind of like I'm kind of hesitant, but it's definitely something I'm considering as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think. Did you have anything, Charles, to say on Amazon?
No, I was just gonna say, sometimes I think people's egos gets in the way of them making money. Because for
Oh,
me,
there's a quote that
if
says,
I wasn't willing to learn from Chris, and Chris was posting stories, so if I didn't have the awareness or say, okay, I could learn from someone, and DM
Yeah.
Chris be like, okay, what's this about? I wouldn't be making money every single month, and that's the issue. I think so many people know they can make money from Amazon, but don't believe in themselves or don't want to seem weak or seem like they need extra funds in
Mm-hmm.
their life, so they won't ever reach out to someone who could change their life.
no,
So I think
yeah,
that if you're, yeah, go Chris.
no. I was just gonna say, there's literally this quote that says, "Ego will keep a lot of men from learning," and
Oof.
Damn.
I found that in
One more
my.
time, one more time, one more time.
You say it this time. You say it this time.
I didn't catch it, bro. I said ego is keeping a lot of men
Yeah,
from.
ego will keep a lot of men from learning. So I found that
Mm.
Damn.
for me, that held me back a long time because I'm not gonna like pay someone that I know to teach me how to do something. And then when I became the teacher, when I became the one that was teaching the stuff, I could see that happening as well, where guys that I knew didn't want to take that step because I think that was the reason mainly. It was because of ego.
Yeah, people
Um,
don't want like they don't want to be the one learning from you, you know. A lot of people don't want to be in the position of a student. And there's
Mm-hmm.
also quotes that say
yeah,
like, oh, you always like you just need to always keep learning. And like a lot of people are not really like they don't want to be in that position of being like below someone, you know. And I get it too, because I've been like too proud, I guess, sometimes too, to like
yeah.
put myself in that position in like in especially if it's somebody that you know. I can understand like why you wouldn't really want to, you know.
Yeah, but that's all good. If
Yeah.
you're not willing to learn from someone you know, you should at least still go learn from someone else. Like go learn from
Yeah,
anyone who's willing to teach
facts.
you because this
Yeah.
does
There
make
you go.
money and you can change your life with it. We're three of us on this call and we've all made money from Amazon and
Facts.
like enough to both of us. We've quit our job. You, Charl, you have so many things going on. I'm sure you could quit your job, but you're making that decision of you don't want to quit because you
Yeah,
want
because for
more
me,
capital. Yeah,
like Amazon's a tool for me to use it for projects, and that's
that's
how I
it.
see
That's
it.
it.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Chris always told me, like I reinvest every single dollar. So I'm like, it's not even a year yet. I'm like, minimum 2 years if I can reinvest every dollar and then take out that big amount and then buy
Yeah.
what the fuck I want. That's the goal. And for me,
Hmm.
I'm fortunate enough to like my 9 to 5, like my career. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
where I have to quit, but everything's aligned. So that's why it makes sense. But I think people a lot of times, if you could get an extra 200, $100, a lot of people's life could change. Like we have so many people complaining about their bills, and a lot of people barely have enough money to pay their basic bills. So having something where you have two salaries or something that could either pay your mortgage, etc. I
Yeah.
don't see what's the issue.
Thanks. Do you guys have another one other than Amazon? Because I feel
Guys,
like
I have a whole list. I have a whole like I have an entire list. Are we ready for number two?
Yeah,
yeah,
go.
go ahead.
Okay, so and you guys can obviously pitch in yours as well, but the next one I thought was like appropriate. That's like something that people can start very easily. And they might not even really need to put that much money into it. But it's Turo. So if you have a car already, you can Turo your car, which is like I've done it actually with my car. Um, like honestly I didn't love it but it is a great way to make money. I think me and Charles had spoken about this like a while back. I was like, why don't you Turo your car? And he's like, I'm never doing that because it's his personal
But
car. And
but
go ahead.
what was that conversation last summer?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm getting a new car
Let's
and I'm gonna do
go.
Damn.
Turo. So that's how
Let's
so
go.
I will do Turo. I'm getting as soon as I get another car, my car's getting paid off. I'm gonna lease another car. Go to episode 4 when we talk about how to deduct your taxes, etc. on the new car. But my
Nice.
new car or my old car, I'm gonna Turo it, and whatever that passive income is gonna pay for my new car. And
Yeah, because
sometimes
honestly like
you have to get over it.
yeah,
Let's
and
go.
because I was using my own car that I was using for every like to drive to work every day. Basically, what I would do is on my days off, I was like, okay, I'm gonna Turo my car, and I did it like I think I had like 4 trips. I've only done it 4 times with 4 different people, maybe a bit more. I don't remember, but it was nice extra money. My only issue is that like the last person that used my car, I think she went on a road trip, and like my car was filthy when I got it back, so I was kind of traumatized, but honestly you just have to like there you can set it so that they can't go more than a certain amount of kilometers, which means that they can't take it on a road trip, and they'll be able to see that. So there's like ways that you can set up the settings so that people who want to go on a road trip cannot take your car. So if that's kind of like a fear of yours, like if I do it again ever in the future, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that nobody takes my car out of Quebec. But yeah, so that's the one little like tip I can give, or the one thing that kind of bothered me about it. But honestly, like it's such an easy way to make extra money if you have a car already, and you're like
Yeah,
if ever there's a day, especially because everybody's working from home now, like literally everybody I know works
there
from
you go.
home. If you're working from home, literally go Turo your car, like even if it's twice a week or something, and you can give up your car for just one day or 2 days, that's fine. Like it's an extra. I think I was Turoing my car for $50 a day, I believe. So, and I like my car is a Honda Civic. It's not an amazing car or anything, but $50 per day is actually still pretty nice. I mean, like I said, I only did like 4 or 5 trips. So I didn't make like millions of dollars. I think I made like $250 basically in total, which is not bad for already owning a car that I didn't have to buy. I didn't have to buy an extra car to do this. I just had my car already. So that's like a really easy way to make money if you already have a car.
Wait, let's say you make
Yeah.
$50 a day per month, like you rent it out every month, that's 1,500. That's
Yeah,
more.
if you manage to rent it out every single day, yeah.
That's more
Which
than
is
your car payment.
And
literally my
So
car
exactly, so many
payment is
people are
260.
paying,
Yeah, my goal was to
and
pay my car payment, and my car payment is 260 per month, and I made about 250, so I was able to pay it that month, which is
first off,
that's easy.
that's
But then
on
that
their
girl
prices
told,
because I know a
yeah,
bunch of people paying $700 for a car that sits in a driveway
yeah.
every single
yeah,
day. And
exactly,
that's the issue. If you, especially you're
yeah,
working from home, your car is a liability, you know.
facts.
And like I said, you're paying $700, etc. You could get $1,000, an extra $500 per month
Yeah.
to pay
Mm-hmm.
your expenses, etc., or invest your money. So we need to get this over this fear. And it took me a while to say somebody else is gonna be driving my car. We have to get over this fear to be able to say that it's mine. Technically it's the banks or whoever is providing you the financing or the leasing. So at the
Exactly.
end of the day, if you could get over this, and we spoke about sometimes having a car, having a home is like a status symbol, and so we aren't able to like share with other
Mm-hmm.
people. But if you're able to get over that, you could have a lot of money coming in your pockets, especially with things costing a lot more. You're gonna have to find ways to be creative
Yeah.
with increasing your income as well.
Wait, and I don't
Facts.
know about this, but when you put your car in Turo, who pays for gas? Is it you that still has to fill it, or is it the person who takes it, or how does that work?
I don't
Well, you could
remember,
put
but
conditions so they can put a full tank, but you have to give it to them
yeah,
with a full
it's
tank.
like wherever they take it, like I think it's like you can take a like they have to take pictures of what the level was at when they took the car, and they have
Okay.
to give it back to you at that level. From what I understood, that's what I
Hmm.
remember because I've Turoed cars too, and that's like I always pumped gas before I gave it back. It's been so long since I did it. It's been 2 years, so I don't remember every detail. But yeah, basically they just have to replace what they used pretty much,
Nice.
which is no loss to you in a way because it's no loss to you in that like at least for gas because gas is so fucking expensive now.
Charles, what car are you planning on leasing? Is it going to be electric or are you still going gas?
It's gonna be a hybrid. Yeah,
Hybrid,
you
yeah?
gotta take advantage of those government
Yeah, yeah,
subsidies
yeah.
before they go away.
Yeah,
So
facts.
that's my
Yeah, I'm
option,
tired of
and
paying
at
for
least,
gas.
yeah, especially with me being like in real estate, I'm like debating between having a pickup or having a normal car, etc.
Damn.
So we're looking to see what options are available. But anybody who is an accountant in that specializes in taxes, holla at your boy.
Yeah, me too,
Holla at your
please.
boy.
Please, me too.
You know, if the government's watching, I'm gonna pay my taxes though. I'm gonna pay
Oh
my
yeah.
taxes.
Oh yeah, we paid our taxes
Yo,
too.
I swear, there's a van outside my house. They're watching me.
Is it
I
still
promise.
there? It's
They're
been there
still
since
there.
it's been there since episode
It's still
one, I
there.
think.
It's still.
Uh
Literally, they've been watching you.
No, on God.
wait,
But
I
I
think
have a other business idea,
yeah,
but
go
this
ahead.
one is for the people who only have time on the weekend. So essentially, I saw that somebody who did this in the US, which was genius. Somebody bought a water pressure, those things that you clean your driveway with,
Yeah.
but for like 250, 350 at Walmart or Home Depot. Hired students to clean driveways and just put it ad on Craigslist or Kijiji.
Damn.
And he was giving them
Oh,
a cut
that's
for I think it
smart.
was like $20, and he was collecting the difference. And you only have to
Damn.
buy one. So he was able to enjoy his weekend, pay students whatever they need to get paid $20, etc., and keeping the difference. So I think that if people are able to do that with cutting grass, you know, lawn mowing, cleaning windows,
It could be like
cleaning
cleaning
driveways,
services. Yeah. Like
yeah,
even
cleaning
in
the
the
homes,
house.
etc. Yeah, I think it's a creative way to do it because you essentially are implementing the Uber, the Airbnb model where you're just the middleman and you get cut without
Yeah.
ever having to be present. So I think,
Yeah.
especially in 2022, the best thing anybody could do is trying to find ways to make income that don't require your presence. And that if you could do that, then you win at life because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have so many different obligations that you don't have the time. And Sasha spoke about it. Not everybody has time to have a second job or wants a second job, but there's
Mm-hmm.
ways to make income as if you had a second job or as if you have two full-time jobs at the same time too.
Yeah.
So you have to change that mindset to say, okay, well, I have to be there to make money.
Bro,
Yeah,
the easiest one,
100%.
I think you can literally find things in your house to sell on Kijiji or something. If you really
Yeah.
need to make money,
Yeah,
that's the easiest way, I think. There's things around your house that you never touch, you never need.
Everyone
Old
has junk
clothes,
like laying around their
yeah,
house that they can
junk.
sell, you
yeah,
know?
Just put it up on
yeah.
take a
Especially
picture,
people
put
with
it
nice
up.
clothes.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you
nice
guys have
clothes.
ever seen like all the girls are selling, it's mostly girls, but I think some guys do it too. But there's a website called Depop, and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everyone sells their clothes on
Poshmark
Depop.
too. Yeah,
And like I used to sell my shoes and like all my clothes on Depop too. And like it was just like it was such an easy way to make money from stuff that I was gonna throw away anyways, you know? So that's
yeah.
another way of like selling stuff that you don't need anymore. And
I
like
just
Chris said, stuff
remembered.
around your house.
I know you want to, Sasha. I know you want to talk about Uber.
Yeah, I was gonna
Is Uber still a thing?
Yeah, Uber's still a thing.
this is not like a trip like a well anyways, yeah, I wanted to talk about it because it's like it's not it's still a way to like you're still trading your time for money when you're doing Uber or like Uber Eats. But I want to talk about it because it's like so many people who well in general so many people are like have become Uber Eats drivers because it's like it's an easy thing to do, and it's also like you can do it at your own time. So even though you're still trading your time for money in a way, what I was telling Chris like earlier is that it's such a flexible thing to do. Like I did Uber Eats as well, and Chris did Uber Eats.
Yeah, I did.
I only did it like a couple times, but I was working full time at the time, so I don't know, I found it was a little bit hectic with my schedule. And also like because of gas prices, maybe it's not worth it anymore. I don't know. But also when me and Chris were doing Uber Eats, this was like 3 years ago. There were no tips. Like you used to not have to tip them. I don't know if you guys remember, but Uber Eats, you used to not have to tip people. Like there was no
Oh,
option.
throwback. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was no option to tip people. And so when we were doing it, it was during those times where there was no tips. But now like I like every time I order from Uber Eats, I tip at least like $3, $4, $5, depending on how big the order is. And so if we would have had that money, because I remember us calculating it and being like, oh, it's not like maybe it's not 100% worth it because we have to pay for gas. But with the tips, I think maybe it's worth it now. But anyways, I would have to try it out again and see how it is. But because it's so like flexible that you can literally choose your own hours and everything, like I
Yeah.
love things like that. So like if I ever needed to go make money because like my business was failing or something, I would literally go do like that's the first thing I would do because I wouldn't do OnlyFans. I'm joking, but I wouldn't do OnlyFans like Chris, but I would go to Uber Eats because Uber Eats, like I've done it before. I know how it works. It's not complicated. You don't need any skills to do it, and it's money. And I would have to see if it's worth it because of gas prices now. But I wanted to talk about that because it's a really like it's kind of like a job, but like you're your own boss in a way. So I don't know. I like the concept a lot, and I think it's helped a lot of people who can't speak French and English in this province. It's helped a lot of people get jobs that they weren't really able to get easily.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really like great opportunity if you want to make your own hours. And people always say like I've spoken to people who've done it a little bit more seriously, and they say do it on like a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night, and that's when you're gonna get the most tips because everyone's
Mm-hmm.
drunk,
Yeah.
turning up, ordering like a bunch of pizza and stuff, and they're like usually they're gonna tip you well. So I've even had people tell me they've made $100 like each day, like they've made like 100, like basically $300 through for that whole weekend, and like that's pretty good for like only working like I think they would only work a couple hours at night, like maybe 2 or 3 hours, and they made like about $300, which is like it's pretty worth it. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's what I wanted to say about Uber. Um, yeah, do you guys have any comments about that? No.
No, I just think like Sasha said, calculating gas prices too, especially
Oh, fuck,
in
it's
this
so
economy.
bad.
That's the issue. I think a lot of these
Yeah, it's
businesses
so
or
bad. Just basically
any
like tip your Uber drivers, guys, because they have to pay for gas. Oh no, if you have a bike,
yeah.
if you have a bike, you
Oh,
are
can you
like
do Uber
you're
with a bike?
good. Yeah, you can. I had somebody on
Oh
a
yeah,
bike
No
like
that's
last time I
fine
way.
then.
ordered. Yeah. So
You're
guys,
fit
do
and you're making money. Yo, that's crazy.
basically. So guys, if you want to do Uber Eats, do it on a bike because no gas. So yeah, that would make it like for sure worth it. But basically just like people need to tip their Uber drivers because like you need to understand how much gas costs right now. And they deserve like they
Yeah.
honestly deserve it. Like they actually need it, you know? So don't be cheap on your tips for Uber. But yeah, so I think we can move on to our another one.
Yeah.
Or do you guys have any other ways or side hustles that you thought of?
I would just say one, or like if it's possible for someone who has a specific skill or mindset to do a ebook or online course. I think that that is probably the easiest way to make passive income, having a
Yeah.
online course or online
100%.
seminar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Digital
That
products.
for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, digital products changed my life. Never going
Me
back.
too. Me
Never will
too.
change. And for me, have and you know, like I have for people who know, I have like a subscription business, I guess, business
Yeah.
course or platform, whatever you want to call it. And for me, it's to the point where I know I'm expecting the same amount every single month. And that's where it comes as if you have passive income, regardless if I'm posting or not, regardless if I'm putting content, it's just coming in. The
Yeah.
beauty about having a course or a ebook is you have to do something one time and you get paid forever.
That's
And
it.
if you're
Literally.
able to
Like
do that,
literally.
then you win at life. Because sometimes
Yeah.
it'll be 2 a.m. and you'll have random people just, oh, we have a new sale, etc. It's the same similar concept as Amazon. It's just that you have to be really good at what you have to do. And everybody has a
Mm-hmm.
specific niche, everybody has a specific uh, mindset or something they could sell or something great about themselves. It doesn't have to be posting on IG, etc. But you could also put it on Etsy. There's a bunch of different platforms where you're just able to put your course and people are looking for this type of
Mm-hmm.
information,
Yeah.
and you could basically make money off it as well.
Facts. I want to elaborate on that because I actually wrote that down too, like similar to that. So, digital products, yes, it's like the literally the best thing in a way to do if you have no money. Like if you have zero capital and you're like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like I can't make any money. I think that's one of the best things you can do because you can literally do it without paying for anything.
Yeah, but we need
Um,
to explain it like quick. Like you still
well,
have to have something that
Well, I was
you
gonna
are.
elaborate, like you need an audience because who is gonna buy something from you unless you publish, like if you make an ebook about a certain topic, like how to do your makeup or something, and you publish it on like a platform that's kind of pushing it, that can maybe work, but also like you kind
Yeah,
of need an audience.
Yeah.
So like some advice that I can give personally is when I first started selling on Amazon, I started posting about it on Twitter just because I wanted to like find people that were also selling on Amazon. And because I posted and posted and posted and I was posting my results, I was posting like helpful things. I started like meeting so many different people and so many people reaching out to me being like, hi, like, can you help me learn? Like, blah, blah, blah. What is this? Da, da, da. And so then once I had so many people asking me like, what are you doing? What is this? Blah, blah, blah. um I made like a free introductory guide of like what it actually is because I was like, okay, I can't keep answering people in my DMs every single day. Like it was becoming so time consuming. I was like, I need to make something that people can download and read because like to explain everything of Amazon is like it's like I need 2 hours to explain it. So anyways, that's what I ended up doing. And then that's when I started seeing the demand of like, okay, people want to learn how to do this. And because I was building up an audience and like helping people and like, sharing all this information, I was naturally kind of building an audience for that product, like basically for a course. And so honestly, that's kind of like the easiest thing you can start is literally a digital course or an ebook,
yeah,
something like that, because it literally required $0 to make my course. I don't think I paid for anything to make that course. And basically, like Chris was saying, like we need to explain what it is and everything, but you can make um anything digital. Even there's even people that are making like calendar templates
PDF.
on Etsy or
Yeah,
like birthday cards or wedding
yeah,
invitations.
that's when the money. That's where the money's at. That right
Exactly.
there,
And people
wedding
will download
season,
it.
baby
Yeah,
showers,
exactly. People will download these like digital
templates.
it's like a graphic design that you made on, you can literally go on Canva for free, make a digital birthday card and then sell it. And again, you kind of maybe need an audience, but I think on Etsy you can kind of sell things better because like you can put hashtags and stuff. So I think with Etsy, maybe like you don't really need an audience as much, but something that's like a course, you definitely need to kind of build an audience before you can launch a course. Because like if nobody knows who you are and you're just dropping a course of something random and everyone's like, well, why the hell would I learn from you if I don't know anything about you, or you've never posted anything about this? It's kind of random and like you can't expect to make money from that. But if you've built a business and you've built like an audience of people who know what you're talking about and they know that you're helping people or whatever, you know, like in that actual niche, then if you have the audience for it and the demand is there, then like it's a no-brainer. Like you do it. You know, it's a no-brainer to do it.
Yeah.
So but again, you don't have to make a course or something like that. If you don't have an audience, then you can kind of go more towards the Etsy side where you're selling templates. There's people that sell like, because on your iPad you can have like a digital calendar, and there's people that are making like and by the way, there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube of like how to make a digital template. So you can literally just follow someone's YouTube video, make a literal digital calendar for an iPad, and then sell it on Etsy for like $2. And even if it's $2 or $5 and someone buys it, you literally didn't pay any money to make this product.
There you go. You know, and personally, I do both. You know, I have a budget planner, or not even a budget planner, a saving challenge. It essentially tells people how much to save every single week for 52 weeks, and then they reach 1K, 2K, 4K, 10K, etc. And I have it on my IG page where I push financial literacy, and then I have it on Etsy. And I make more money on Etsy than I do on my IG page because it's
Wow.
random
No way.
people, like Sasha said, that just buy. Yeah, and sometimes it's $1, sometimes $10, $5, $20, etc.
Yeah,
But the smart thing is that you take that money and then you put it to long-term assets, and then
exactly.
that's how the money gets growing also.
And
Oh
like that
yeah,
might not
Amazon
be your
courses on
mainstream.
Etsy.
Yep. I
Oh,
I
really?
told you to post one, bro. Man, I was. If I could, bro.
He's like, I've
You
been
guys need to
telling you
drop
guys
that.
this.
Man, en tout cas,
Oh,
Yeah, and
you
I'm
you
guys,
doing
can
that
post.
later today, bro.
I bet,
I'm dead. But yeah, I think
because
that's
you
the
put the
best thing
right
you can do
hashtags.
That's
if
the
you
thing.
have
If you told me,
$0. Sorry, we all kept cutting each other
yeah,
off. But
yeah.
basically, if you guys have $0, like a lot of people will be like, oh, well, like some people will say like, oh, and this is valid, you know, this happens to some people, unfortunately, but they'll pay all their bills, they'll buy their groceries. This is usually people that have kids and, you know, they have a lot of like things to pay for. So they'll pay all their bills, they'll buy groceries, blah, 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 and they literally don't have any money left. And I mean, a lot of people who say this, I don't like a lot of people who say this, they, you know, they're spending their money on eating out and like they're buying, like they're getting their lashes done every 2 weeks and like they're doing all of these things. So I think a lot of the times it's bullshit, but there are some people, or maybe a lot of people actually, that actually don't have a lot of money to spare. But if you are in a situation where you literally have no money left to spare after you pay your bills and everything, this is something that you can look into, because it's literally like you can
Yeah,
spend literally one evening, 2 hours making a template, upload it and just see what happens. And if you don't make any money from it, it's like, well, at least you learned a little bit about graphic design, and like you know, you learned a new skill on Canva or something. So yeah, that's something that you can do if you really don't want to invest any money. And it's like, literally, why not? You know, it's like, it's literally free, so why not?
you know, and people who have a 9 to 5, if you do anything on Excel, you need to have a digital product, because so many people do not know how to use Excel. You could legit
I was one
do
of
a
those.
5 minute course. You know, you could do a course, teach the A to Z,
That's
upload
a
it
good
in. You
idea.
never
That's a
know.
really good idea.
And what's
Yeah.
that say? UNDI?
UDM. Oh no,
You
UDM.
UDM.
Udemy. I forget. Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. It's like
But
an
there is a
online
site where
platform
a
for
bunch of, yeah,
courses.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, you can put a Word, you can put a PowerPoint, etc. So anybody who uses Microsoft Office at your 9 to 5, use your 9 to 5 skills to make money outside your 9 to 5.
That's a really, really good idea actually, because like when I first started my business, as Chris remembers, I was like, I'm not somebody that's good at math. I've never used Excel really like in a professional setting. So like for me, it was really hard to like just learn Excel in general. Like I watched so many YouTube videos on how to like just do one little thing, you know? So that's a really good idea, because a lot of people who work in like corporate offices and stuff, they actually like they teach them how to use Excel. So that's a really,
Yeah.
really good idea for people who actually know how to use it, and like that's part of their job. That's a really, really good idea. So yeah, I have a couple more. I literally went
Yeah.
all out, but
Are we gonna talk about YouTube?
oh, that's a good idea. Actually, I didn't even write that one down. Yeah, let's talk about YouTube. You can go ahead.
You didn't write YouTube down?
No, I'm so
You're-
dumb. I wasn't even thinking about like me. I was thinking about just like random things. But
but yeah, no, YouTube does take a while to do it, but there's YouTube where it's like you can post yourself and things like that. But there's
Oh, you're
also,
right. Yes, I
yeah,
forgot.
there's
The
also this
playlist.
thing that I've been seeing. No, what playlist?
Well, people, like people put like bunch of songs together at night so you can fall asleep.
Yeah, like
Essentially.
Lofi
Oh
beats.
yeah,
Lofi beats.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like you can do, there's this thing called YouTube automation where you can make videos where you see these videos on YouTube where there's no one that's there. It's just like a voice talking with some sort of animation on the screen, or even compilation of things, like things where you don't have to be present in the video. Your voice doesn't even have to be present. You can outsource, get like a video editor for cheap on Fiverr. You can get someone to animate the video, and you can get someone to even write the script for the video. So let's say, like, I don't know,
Oh, it's like how to be like how to sleep better at
productivity
night. Like
hacks,
yeah,
yeah,
and
or
there's like a
something
little
like that.
guy and he's like and they're
Yeah,
drawing
and
it
they're drawing,
and there's
exactly.
like
So
subtitles and then they're
those
just
types of
narrating it.
videos,
Yeah.
yeah, you can make those by just outsourcing. Let's say one video would cost you in total $100 to make. So
Yeah.
you invest a few times in those videos, and eventually once those videos pop off, they'll make you thousands and thousands of dollars. But that is a model that I found cool as well, because YouTube is so interesting, but a lot of
Yeah,
people
it's not
aren't
just
willing.
like you vlogging and showing your face. Like there's so many other ways to do YouTube.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people aren't willing to put themselves out there on YouTube like that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
this
like you don't
other
have to
way of
become an
doing it.
influencer to make money on YouTube, basically. You can do that. And the
Bro,
perfect example, go ahead, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, people who do like sports compilation of goals or
Oh, you're
whatever.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's so lit.
Exactly.
Like
I
they
was
make
gonna
so
say
much
Cat
money.
TV. Have you guys seen Cat TV?
Oh, yeah, you can explain that one.
Okay, so basically there's a thing called Cat TV. I saw some girl posted on her story and I was like, what the fuck is Cat TV? If you Google or if you put Cat TV on YouTube, you're gonna see that there's people who make literally compilations basically of like squirrels running through a forest. And you're supposed to play it for your cats. And I've actually played it for my cats
Bro,
and
and
they
they have
love it.
Oh
millions
my
of
My
views.
cats
god.
love Cat TV.
They have
and
millions of views.
Cat TV.
and these people are becoming rich off of making literally videos. And there's one that's really popular and it's like a screen and it's like an animation as well, but it's a screen of like bugs running up the screen. They're like bugs like running and like birds flying, and it's like it's like drawings, basically animations of like birds flying and like bugs running up, and the cats are like trying to chase it, and like cat people love Cat TV, and I've become a fan of Cat TV because my cats love
Yo,
it. And it's such a random thing. Like you would have never thought that this is something that exists in the world and that people are making money from this, but they literally are. They are.
cat people, money mine. Because especially if you talk about Amazon, my best selling products are people who have
Ooh,
pets. You know?
100%.
Pets, bro.
Guys,
Yeah.
remember I said I wanted to talk about this on the next episode? I was saying that there's more pets in America than babies because nobody wants to have kids anymore. And it's
Well,
literally
that right
true. Like
there.
all of my products are like all of my best-selling products are pet food and like kitty litter and stuff like that. And it's crazy. Like it's like pets are like you can make so much money with pets because everybody has pets these days and nobody wants to have kids anymore. Like apparently it declined like by 3 times since like 20 years ago or something, because nobody in our generation wants to have kids because basically it's money. I think they did a study and it's mostly money issues. Like nobody wants to have a kid and be struggling. So I don't know why it's more our generation that's like this. Maybe it's because of inflation. I don't know, but nobody's having kids anymore, basically.
Yeah, but I also think it's a question of like lifestyle. Because I think like if you look in North America, like the average couple has like 1.1 kids. But if you go
Yeah,
other places in the country, birth rates, even if you look at
you're
China, they're going
right.
back to taking out the one child policy because there's a lack of fertilization and the population of kids. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how we balance things out because essentially,
Yeah.
if you look at Canada, the US, we're probably the same density in terms of like size,
Mm-hmm.
but the US has approximately 300 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Canada, we're probably around
Yeah,
36
we have
million or
so
39
little,
million.
yeah,
Yeah,
compared to the
Yeah,
US.
so we
Yeah.
have a lot of land left, but for that we need expansion as well. So that's why immigration is so big in our country.
Yeah.
facts.
Um, so yeah, cat TV. Go do cat TV basically on YouTube. Um, I have like two more I think on my list, so I'll just get those out of the way. But basically, it's kind of what Chris said
OnlyFans.
before.
Damn. Yeah, add OnlyFans in there.
Why didn't I write OnlyFans? I forgot about
Yo, Chris
OnlyFans.
gotta give us like a pep talk, bro. I'm trying to find the
Oh, but
blueprint.
you know what? OnlyFans is basically a digital product because you're making
Yeah,
videos and you're selling them. So it's basically digital
Facts,
products.
facts.
And
facts.
that's literally
Digital booty.
that's basically passive income. All they have to do is post it and make money while they sleep. There's a girl from Montreal that made 20K apparently from OnlyFans and like on her first launch, like within a couple of months. Like that's fucking crazy to me.
Jeez.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyways, but props to them. Shout out to all of them.
Shout out
But
to our entrepreneurs,
For
literally,
real,
our
for real.
OnlyFans
no, like
entrepreneurs.
actually though, like facts. But it's basically a digital good because like it's not costing them any money to take these pictures really or videos, you know? Like I mean maybe there's some props or something, I don't know. But in general, you can do it for free. So that's another really good thing to do if you have no money. But I was gonna say this is kind of it's kind of like reselling, but there's other ways that you can get stuff without buying stuff. So a lot of people will go on Facebook Market, they'll go into the free section because there's a free section where people give away stuff, and then they'll go pick up a bunch of stuff. So you could
Yeah, and
either
resell it.
yeah, you could either buy stuff that's valuable and then like flip it, or you can go get free
Hmm.
stuff. Another really popular business is something that because my mom's obsessed with furniture and like painting furniture and old like
Yes,
antique stuff.
yes, 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 yes,
What
yes.
is it?
That should be number one. I was just about to say that. Yes.
You're about to say antique furniture?
Yeah.
Wow, no way.
Antique
Yeah,
furniture, big
my mom's
business,
like really
especially
into
if
it
you're
and
able to
like
refurnish it.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, because my mom always watches like videos of people who sand wood and stuff and like anyways, I only know about this because of her because I've seen her like YouTube videos that she watches and there was a like the I can think of a specific video. There was a guy who would travel to different houses buying like antique furniture and then they would like sand it, paint it, like polish it and make it
Change
look
the
good basically.
handles.
And
Hmm.
that's an amazing business. If you have a pickup truck and you know and you're a handy type of person, I hate that type of stuff. So that would not be a business that I would do. But my mom was saying like, oh, if she had a pickup truck, she would go do it because she loves like arts and like she loves furniture and stuff. So that's a really smart thing because you can make a lot of fucking money by selling furniture. And especially if you're buying them in shitty condition and someone's selling it for like $50 and then you paint it, you make it look really good, and then you sell it for like 200, or I'm just making up numbers, but I'm sure you can make a lot of money with that business. Like that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and I have a friend who bought a coffee table for $150. He resold it for $700. Probably paid
Jeez.
like $100 in
Oh my God.
like paint, door handles, etc.
That's
So there is
crazy.
a big business, especially if you are in a city where there is a hipster environment. There's an opportunity to make a lot of money because a lot of people don't want the IKEA furniture, etc. So if you're able to have furniture that has a story and you're able to reamp it, there's a lot of
Yeah.
money that can be made.
Yeah. And like if it looks a little bit damaged and you just fix up a couple things, it becomes so much more valuable.
Was that the
Um,
last one?
no, sorry. I
What?
literally have like three more. I'm sorry. I have some other ideas
What
too.
are you talking about? You said there was two and then you added three.
I realize there's more. Okay, so another thing that you can do is this is like it's kind of random, but like this is what I originally wanted to do with my life. Like I was like I wanted to do this. So basically you can do like beauty treatments or like spray tanning, eyelashes, stuff like that. And if you have a spot in your home, I know this girl that she like I think her dad basically let her use her basement and garage and basically turned it into a salon, and she was doing like eyelashes, spray tans, everything from home. And um I think like it depending on the service that you would offer, it might be more than 500 to like pay for a course and to get certified and stuff like that. But I know for like because I took a spray tan course and it was below $500. So if you wanted to do something like that where you spray tan people, for me, like I never was able to become, or I never became successful because I let the limitation of me not having a place to do it stop me. So like, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay for rent. So if you have a place to do it already and you don't need to rent it, like a room in a salon or something, you can do it from home. And that's like such a really, like that's a really good way to make money. I knew this other girl that was doing lashes, and she was paying all her school loans just by doing girls lashes, and she would charge like $100
Wow.
for an hour session, and that's a lot of money for 1 hour. You're getting paid like $100 an hour basically.
Yeah.
So that's a really big business, and like, because I'm a girl, I know this because I pay for these things, so like I know how big the business is. And yeah, I wanted to mention that. Last thing, yeah, actually the actual last thing is, you can I have a friend who makes like jewelry, like she buys like beads and she makes like jewelry. I know this other girl who makes cakes from home, and there's like so many like little things like that. There's another girl that makes chocolate covered strawberries, and like these are like little businesses. I mean, it'll take time to grow these types of businesses, but they're like, you can buy a box of strawberries and like dip them in some chocolate for, I'm sure $10. So these are also very easy things to start. Like if there's something that you like doing, like if you like to bake at home, why not start making cookies and selling them on Instagram, and like having people share it for you and stuff like that. So that's the last thing that I wrote down, was just like any little craft or like baking or like anything like that you can do, or that you like doing, or that you have experience doing or whatever. That's also another cool way that you can make money.
Yeah. Charl, do
I
you
think
have
that's
any
pretty
other
much
ones?
it.
That'll be good. So I hope people took out a pencil and a paper, because there's a lot of
Yeah, like I
gems we
had so
given.
many.
And there's still
Oh,
so much more, to be honest. Like
We
if
still have a
we
lot more.
if we wanted to go on, we could. Like there's
I could
just
go on. Yeah, I know so many people that are doing like random little
Twitch
things.
streamers, like people
Oh
who
my
stream on
God,
Twitch
you're
and make so
right.
much money, and that's
Yeah.
basically free. You need
Virtual
equipment and
assistants.
stuff. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Virtual
you're
assistant.
right.
That is a
facts,
big business.
Yeah.
facts. What else? There was
Or even on Fiverr, if you go on Fiverr and you say like I'm a digital blah blah blah, and you just like help people edit their videos, or like I've worked with people from Fiverr and I've had great experiences. And if they make, like, you can make thumbnails on YouTube for like $10. Like literally on Canva, it takes me like 30 minutes to make a thumbnail or less. And I'm sure with more experience, it would take me like it would be a lot faster. And so at first I was paying people. I paid twice to get a thumbnail from YouTube, and it was $5 USD, so it was almost $10 Canadian. And that's not worth it in my opinion anymore, now that I know how to do it myself. But like that's a big business. Like if you're making like 50 thumbnails a day, and it's easy, it's actually really easy once you get used to it. That's a lot of money that you could potentially make. So I know, like, you could also do Fiverr, and you can do anything on Fiverr. Like it doesn't have to just be like YouTube thumbnails or editing. There's so many other things you can do.
You know what that made me? I don't know why I have this random thought. Some people would rather waste like 3 hours of their life trying to learn something rather than pay someone $10 or $20 to just do it for them.
It's true. It's true. It's
Yeah,
true. And I
facts.
think it's because, like, in my
But why
experience,
is it? Why is it? Because I remember being that way too, and I don't. Now that I'm here and I'm not afraid to spend my money like that anymore to save my
because
time,
you
I don't
want it done,
understand.
it's because you want it done the way that you want. Like you want to make sure that they're doing it the right way. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard to get somebody to do something your style or whatever
Yeah,
right away. So that's the problem I had with thumbnails, is that like some of the people wouldn't, like, it would be hard to like get them to create exactly what I was envisioning. So I really prefer making my
Yeah.
own thumbnails now. But my first couple of videos, like my first like 3 videos, I had thumbnails made for me, and it was like, when I really didn't know what to do, it was very helpful to just pay someone and like have it done for me. But yeah, I mean, Chris, you went through this as well. Like when you're hiring somebody, like you want to make sure they're doing it the way that you want.
mhm.
So I think you understand it the best than all of us, that you like, hiring someone is scary because are they
Yeah.
going to treat your business the way that you want it to be treated?
Facts.
Yeah. But it's true, the more you do it, the more you do delegate these things and pay for your, to take your time back, you become more willing to do it, I guess. Like I'm ready to, like, hire someone to edit for me and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't care anymore,
Yeah.
because it's worth it. Anytime like that you're going to pay for something and it's to take your time back, it's going to be worth it no matter
Yeah,
what.
still, Charl, ask for an editor. We need an editor right now for our reels and stuff.
No, facts. So if anybody who can edit thumbnail, what else do we need? TikTok manager,
Yeah, TikTok
IG
manager, IG manager,
manager.
YouTube
What
Shorts.
do I need? Yeah, YouTube Shorts. Holla at your
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah.
there's
Comment
too
down
little
below.
hours in a
Show us the
day, bro.
tutorial. And
Yeah, there's not enough time
you
for
know,
everything.
Especially when
yeah,
you try to
especially
balance things out and try to go to the gym and eat well and run business,
that's
like
the
run
issue.
one, two, three
That's the issue.
Yeah,
businesses,
it's like I want to eat healthy, I want to go to the gym, I want to build my business, I want to build my other business, and then
and
my
then you
other
have your family, and then you have friends,
Personal
and
relationships,
yeah, your
you know,
social
uh,
life.
and that's what gets like tricky because especially for us being in like mid 20s, etc. Like you see everybody going out, see everybody enjoying their life, you're just like shit.
The
You have
FOMO.
like extreme FOMO.
Fact.
mm.
Especially right now. Like FOMO is kicking my ass right now because it's
Me
like, yo,
too.
everybody's
Me
living
too
Yeah,
their
it
lately.
best
happens
life,
in
but
summertime for sure, because
yeah,
that's when
yeah,
everyone's
winter I'm good. Summer
Everyone's
comes out,
outside.
winter is
I
easy.
forgot what my budget is. Yeah, and that's where at least if you're able to delegate, not saying you have to go crazy, but at least you have a better life balance than you would if you just take on every single task. And like Sasha said, I think it's a mental shift that says, okay, well, I don't need to control everything in my business, but as long as I have a overview of everything, then
Yeah.
maybe I could delegate.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Should we wrap up by saying like what's our top three that we would recommend to start of side hustles with $500? Like if you had $500, I think my top three would be for sure Amazon. So online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. You should definitely look into that if you're trying to make some extra money and you have like around $500. Um, what else? Number two would be, what was the one we said before Uber? Oh, Turo. No,
Yeah, to Turo your
True.
car.
I have no experience with Turo, so I think I would go for. No, I wouldn't go for
Like
Uber.
if
No.
you had to do three right now, like if you had to do three right now in your situation, which three would you do?
For the quickest, it would have to be reselling. So I think answer one, two, three are all reselling. It just depends which form. So either online
Yeah, there's so many
arbitrage, retail
kinds, yeah.
arbitrage,
Yeah.
or sneaker flipping or anything like that. I would do any of the reselling. I don't even think I would go the Uber route or anything if I had to make money like right now. Or
Yeah.
actually,
Same.
maybe Uber, like number three. So reselling one, two, and then number three Uber.
Yeah,
What
I
about
think for
you?
me
Yeah.
it's
So for me,
Amazon. Sorry, Charles, go ahead.
yeah, no, go, because we all have the same as system.
Yeah, I think
Oh, really?
Amazon. I think Amazon, but then I think I'm gonna say like my second would be the Etsy templates and like
Mm-hmm.
digital things because I actually watched so many
Oh,
YouTube videos on
digital
how to
things,
do
yeah.
that and I was really looking into doing that because um as you guys know I love my like my planners and like my calendars and my whiteboards and all that stuff. Like that's something that I really love. So I was trying to look into how to actually make them and I was thinking why don't I try to make an actual template first and like build a template and then I can try to sell that template. So that's something that I've actually already like started the kind of process of learning how to do it. So that it would definitely be that well Amazon and then the Etsy templates for like calendars or something and then um what else? Well, there was another one that I was thinking. Oh, I guess Turo because I have experience doing Turo and I've made money from Turo and it was just easy to do. I'm even now I'm like, why am I not doing Turo anymore? Like I'm thinking in my head, like
Mm-hmm.
why did I stop? It's because I use my car like very like I use it every day to go to the gym and
Yeah.
everything. So it's kind of like I rely on it too much and like yeah, anyways, so I think it'd be a bit hard, but because I know that you can make money from it and I have made money from it, I think I would choose Turo as my third one.
Charles?
Yeah, I have the same exact list as Sasha, especially for the digital products. If you have a 9 to 5 and you're using a skill, whether it be a
Yeah,
analyst role, etc., I'll be using exactly what I'm learning from work, making money off it. And
that's so smart.
for
Yeah.
me, we spoke about 9 to 5. We'll speak about the 9 to 5 again. But for me, the goal of a 9 to 5 is taking the skills you learn from your 9 to 5 and learn how to make money off it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's making money off your skills besides you, or real money besides you. So
Say it
that's
again.
where whether it be Etsy, etc. There's no reason why everybody should have a digital product. If you are a uh,
Because everyone has
a
skills, even if
trainer
you
at a
think they
time,
don't. Yeah, everyone has a
yeah.
skill.
You know
Everyone.
what? Back
If
then,
you're a
I
trainer,
just
why don't you have a booty plan online?
Facts.
Nah, but if you're a cook, I have like 10 easy prep
Yeah,
meals.
make an
Like
ebook.
everybody
Yeah.
has a skill.
Yeah.
Everybody
Bro,
has a skill.
I just had a
It's
flashback,
just
like when I was doing my CVs and stuff and applying for jobs, and there was the skill section. I don't think I don't remember what I used to put. I think I used to put like Microsoft Excel and Word. Like what kind of and I didn't really have skills in those. I
But
didn't have.
it is a skill in a way, like to be able to use those. Like a lot of jobs
you
will
know,
want you to
Yeah, but I
to
was bullshitting because I
it's
had
the
I
biggest
had
one.
no skills in Microsoft Excel back then.
Yeah, I put
And
them too. Honestly, I
Nobody
put
does. Nobody does. But you
after
see, it's
working
like,
after working at a bank, like I put that I used Excel, even though I used it like just once or twice, you know. And I was like, yeah, I used Excel at this bank job, even though it was total bullshit.
and especially like for like my type of work or any analyst, whoever, depending on your 9 to 5, etc. Like something you have to build like these like templates or like databases on Excel.
Mhm.
Whoever does that needs to be able to sell that online. I don't care
Facts.
Yeah,
what you do or
I
what's
agree.
your job title.
I agree.
People are making $150 selling those types of course. And everybody needs it. Everybody needs Excel, especially the more specific your job is, the more skills you have, the more things you can sell.
Mhm.
Especially if you're in the, if I had my CPA, I'd be doing basic templates to how to calculate your taxes, like
Yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty
on
facts.
deck,
smart. That would be
on
easy, like
deck, forty
literally
dollars,
easy.
easy.
Yeah. And I'm sure you would have to make that in school, no? Like, wouldn't you? Would that be something that
Yeah,
yeah, imagine you make a
yeah,
project in school and then you just submit it on Etsy. That's easy.
yeah. Oh shit.
Damn,
Mm.
there's so
I'll
many
give you an
ways of
idea.
making money. That's to summarize, like there's so many ways of making
Yeah,
money.
guys, we're
And
coming up with like the
people,
most random ideas. Like people, like I can even name more that random people are making, like different ways that people are making random money from. So don't like just don't think that there's only other jobs that you can get. There's so many other things you can do, and like
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be your
but
time
all
that
these things take patience and they're not fixed. So where
facts.
people are chasing a fixed salary, obviously this is not it. And
yeah.
these are things for people who want to control their own pay and their own life, and
Yeah.
that's what this is for.
And also just
Yeah,
make
but you
extra
see,
money without
But
trading.
that's it, yeah, without trading your time.
yeah,
Basically.
but you see, and I don't care how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And we'll talk about the 250K conversation, but I think so many people are fixated on. We spoke about increasing your income. Yes, you can increase your income, but the ultimate question is where is your income going to? If it's just buy more clothes or buy more food, etc., then you're doing yourself a disservice. But if you're able to be strategic with your income, I know a bunch of people that make big money are in massive debt,
I
but instead
swear.
of paying off that debt, they're spending it more to go out, etc. Like sometimes you need to have the right priorities in
Yeah.
life as well.
When I was making 50K, and I know a few people, let's say they make 100K, I swear I would have more money left over than some of the people who had more, because have how much you make, like you just said, is not relative of how much is going to actually stay with you and how much is going to. Some people, the more they make, the
Hmm.
more they spend. That's usually how it tends to go. The more you make, the more you
Yeah,
spend. I'm not saying don't make more. You should definitely always try to make more, but also you need to know how to manage your money, because someone that's making 50K can have a lot more cash than someone who's making 100 and 150K, 200K even. Um,
Uh,
and right on, man preaching today, because we know a bunch of people making 150K, 200K, and are living paycheck to paycheck. And
paycheck to
you ask
paycheck.
them what assets or what investments they have,
What was it?
swadoosh,
Let me
yeah.
see.
swadoosh,
I sent you
and
guys the
it's like,
picture in the group. Wait,
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
it was like what did it say in the
Yeah,
picture?
that's what I'm trying. Okay, a third of Americans earning 250,000 per year say they live paycheck to paycheck. This is according to Bloomberg Business, and isn't that just fucking insane?
Like that's just sad. Like I actually feel bad because like how is
yeah,
that
but
possible?
are we surprised? Because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
I get
worked
it.
during the pandemic. How many
Well, you
people
know
were
they
calling the bank
oh yeah, facts. You're right.
Some
to like stop that payment?
36%,
We're talking about doctors, engineers,
Yeah.
36% of
So
households taking in nearly four times the median US salary devote nearly all of their income to household expenses.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
'cause-
Because they're upgrading their houses too fast and like
It's
their cars too
particularly true
yeah,
fast.
among millennials who are now in their mid 20s to early 40s, more than half of top earners in that generation report having little left at the end of the month. It's because, bro, our generation
We're
is
all trying to live
too
lavishly.
banned, bro. Yeah,
But
because of
that's
social
the
media.
issue.
Social media is ruining everyone.
Yeah, but there's a quote that says
You
like if you
know,
can't handle 50K, how do you expect to be able to, or like if you can't
Yeah, if you
manage your
can't
money?
handle personal money, you can't manage business money, and that's a fact. Like you can't. You have to
and
learn financial literacy. You have to know how to manage your money before you try
shout to
anything.
Biggie Smalls, more money, more problems, and it's
Hmm,
true.
facts.
Because if
It's
you
true. It is
can,
true.
like for me, yo, when I was making $35,000, I was spending as if I was making 60K. It's not normal that in my head I was like, yo, let me think about buying a Mercedes when I was making $35,000.
That's fact.
Yeah.
But with such a generation when it's like, if I could afford the monthly payment, I could afford it. Nah,
That's it.
that's not how it works. You need to be able to pay for it twice before you actually could buy it.
Yeah.
And I think that the pandemic really showed me that a lot of people live up front. You'll see the person driving a Mercedes, having a nice car, nice house, etc. But legit, they have $40 to the name, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I realized that sometimes you have to be or downgrade in lifestyle to have a stress-free life. And if it means to be able to drive or change car every 4 years, every 5 years, so be it. But at least having the security financially to know that I'm taken care of and the people close to me are taken care of, I think that is a sacrifice that is definitely worth it.
Yeah, me
I-
too.
If you live like no one else is living now, then in the future you'll be able to live like no one else is able to. Or
Facts.
yeah, maybe I
Facts.
messed that up, but it's literally
No,
that. Like
no, it's true.
if you can literally sacrifice this time right now where everyone's turning up and everyone's trying to spend money and everyone's like doing all these crazy things, if you have the discipline and the patience to wait a bit, you'll see that maybe when you get older, you'll be able to do certain things that the people who are spending crazily right now won't be able to do because they'll have other obligations that you won't have.
Yo,
Facts.
gems,
I got Charl
gems,
dancing right
gems.
here. I
'Cause
got Charl.
yo, because I'm about to go off because this is the year, especially like I'll say this from 18 to 25, this is your age to like mess up, etc. Starting at 25, the clock is ticking, and I'm not saying that you need to have everything figured out, but this is where the separation begins. You'll see the people who were putting the work, etc. And if
Mhm.
10 years from now, you'll see, as Sasha said, I want to live a extraordinary life.
That's it.
If you see people living their best life 35, 40, 2 years from now, etc., don't be mad because we all started with the same credit score, we all started with the same job, we all had the similar degrees, etc. What I decide to do with my credit score and my money is different from you. So don't be
Yeah.
mad when I have financial freedom and you don't. And they say, oh, he was lucky. No, I was fucking grinding, making sure that everything was in place for a certain time frame. And I think people forget that we all started with similar situations, some better than others, but at a certain point, there aren't any excuses anymore. And
When
that's where you have to figure that shit out.
when I lose, they say it's me. When I win, they say it's God. That's a lyric. I don't who said it. I think
Yo,
it's a French lyric, to be honest. It's a French rapper who says it, but yeah, but that hit me because it's true. Like when you're losing, yeah, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him. When you're winning, oh, it's luck, you got lucky, blah blah.
You're so right. It's so true. Ah,
nah,
No,
man, because
that
it's like people are gonna die because of Instagram, man. It's a sickness. It's a
but people
sickness.
just want to have excuses because they don't want to change their circumstances. Like they'll say they want to and they'll act like they want to, whatever,
it's
but
because it takes so much work, to be honest. Like we've talked about it before, but to be the first one in
Yeah,
your family that's gonna make that change is
yeah,
just so much. And you're seeing everyone have everything right now. But if you're the first one to make that change in your family, then maybe we spoke on it last week. You're not gonna be the one that's gonna have it. And so
well,
it
we
just
might have a
fucks
bit
with
of
your
it,
head. No, I know, but it just fucks with
yeah,
your head
like,
so
yeah, we're
much.
not going to be the ones that are in our 20s
So
like
people are
having
just like, fuck it,
yeah.
I'm just not gonna do that. But yeah, we're trying to live extraordinary lives.
facts.
Um,
Yo, facts, facts.
and yeah, I think did we have anything else for today? I think we should wrap
Yeah, I
up.
think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah,
go eat.
conclusion conclusion, basically there's so many ways to make money, and no matter how horrible your life is, if you want to make a change in your life, there is a possible way to do it. And basically just take notes of what we just said and try something, try many things, and maybe one of them will work, you know. And yeah, if you really want change in your life, then you're going to start trying things, and that's basically how you can change your circumstances. And even if you don't believe it, there's people that have done it, so it's possible. I believe it's possible for everyone, and excuses are not going to make your life better. Complaining is not going to make it better, and life sucks, you know. There's a lot of things that suck in life, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't, you know, try to aim for something better, in my opinion.
Tell them. All right, guys. Well, this was episode 7 of the Untold Gems podcast. If you've made it this far, leave gems down below. And
No one left. Oh, actually, no. I was gonna say no one left any gems, but maybe
yeah,
I
we
think
won't have gems for a while, but eventually it'll come. Eventually,
it's
All
okay.
good, bro.
It's okay. We'll get one.
We
We'll
get
get one
gems daily.
eventually.
that's it. That's it.
Let's see when we get our first gem.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Bye, guys.